Hey Captain Awesome, and congratulations on waking up to a great day, and I hope you're having a good day. So I'm in a new place. So I'm in Costa Rica, as you may or may not know, and I'm in a place called Manuel Antonio. Apparently this is like the tourist hub of Costa Rica. I didn't know that. On my list of places to go and things to see on my bucket list was Costa Rica, but I had no idea where, other than just landing and figuring it out along the way. And so here I am house sitting. So I'm looking after a little kitty, and this is my first house sitting nursing job. So let's see if she's gonna play along. She's hiding under the bed. She's still not quite used to me yet. So that's little Phoebe, and her fur mummy, well actually not fur mummy, human mummy, is a gorgeous girl named Alice, and she's gone back to the States to see her family. So I'm kitty sitting for 10 days. And then I'm going to show you around a little bit, because if I go out and venture out a little bit further, there was monkeys in the tree yesterday, so hopefully I'll be able to show you them, all the little capuchin monkeys. So I'm going to get keys, which I'm going the wrong way for, and I'm probably going to bore you senseless while I faff, so I'm going to pause the video until I get out there to see if I can see any. No, unfortunately no monkeys today, but I'm here for a little while, so hopefully I'll be able to show them. So it's interesting, right, this place, I believe that I manifested. So I was house sitting another place, and I needed to arrange more house sitting. And so what I did, and excuse the power tools, was I decided that I wanted to get a place and house sit in a place that was right near a national park, so I could go and look at sloths and toucans and all of the wildlife, and on the coast as well. And so I did this, and what I did was create the feelings and picture myself there in the situation, and house sitting the house and whatever else. And no shit, 2 days later I get a message from someone I've house sat before saying, hey, I found this, get in touch. And so here I am, see? Travel manifesting. It's amazing. And so yeah, here I am doing this, and I need to manifest some more. Well, I'm going, she's letting me stay until the end of the month, which is amazing. So I get my own unit after she comes back. And then I go back to another place I was house sitting for again to teach them how to cook vegan food. So pretty cool. So I've pretty much got my whole stay in Costa Rica all sorted out. The next step is Panama. So I know where I want to go, and I've got a bit of a plan. You can get a 6-month visa in Panama, so I'm going to stay there for 6 months, I think. So I wanted to, today I was sort of, well actually last night I was kind of lying in bed, and I did a bit of a Breaking Bad marathon yesterday. I just decided to watch the rest of it all in one go. That was only the last season, so I'd sort of been going through it. This is the second time I've watched it, so because it is that good. And I actually wanted to share with you, and it's quite fitting, is my time when I was a meth junkie. And this is a really tough time that I was going through. So I was 30 and I was living in Sydney, and I was very lonely, very insecure, very lost in who I was and what I wanted to do with my life, where I was headed. And I went from friend group to friend group to friend group, because I always felt like a square peg in a round hole. And I think, you know, I've always felt like that. But I also think that we all feel like that at one time or another, some of us more than others. And you know, I think as well, it's kind of that loner by nature thing where it really is a choice, okay? And so anyway, I used to go out on my own because my best friend had a partner, and so who else could I go out with other than just go out on my own? And I'd been doing that for years, like, because I travel so much, I go out on my own, and you always meet people. The problem with it is that I got to the point where I was doing so many drugs and even meth, that I was going to work, I was getting the paranoia, I was scratching myself, I was getting really moody and dark, and just having really dark days as well. And what the pinnacle, the defining moment for me was that I'd been out partying in Sydney. No, well, we have been talking about that, but partying in Oxford Street in Sydney, which is where I always would go. And I went to this house afterwards. So it was like a Sunday morning at about 9 a.m. and I was just off my head, like off my head. As you know, I'm sure there's a few of you out there watching this that have been through that as well, or put yourself through that, because I'm all for personal responsibility. And I was sitting at this house and there was 2 girls that lived there. And I don't know if you've watched Breaking Bad, but remember that part where Jesse goes to that meth couple's house and there's a kid there. So this was kind of that scenario. So I was sitting in the living room and this 10-year-old kid walked down the stairs. And that was the moment where I realised that I'd become a fucking junkie. And that, you know, I felt like scum. I felt like absolute scum to be in the presence of a child in that state of mind and body. And I was just disgusted. And that was the moment where, and you know, I mean, that was sort of around a time where there was one moment where I woke up in the middle of my hallway naked with the light on because I thought people were trying to get at me in my bed. And so, look, it wasn't like I managed to catch myself before it got too bad. And, you know, I think I've sort of always been like that. Well, actually not really. Alcohol's always been a big problem of mine as well. And so this is how my work started. This is how 10 years, the last 10 years of study and learning and personal development and just investing. Like I've spent $80,000 on my education, both in business and personal as well. I mean, they're intertwined, really. On becoming who I am. And here's the thing, you're always becoming who you are. You're always stepping up and going to the next level. People don't. A lot of people don't. They stay like that. Like I even went to, when I was living in Playa del Carmen in Mexico, I got caught up with kind of a boozy crowd. And it was like, I just don't want to be around this anymore. They were in their 60s and 70s and still getting shit-faced 3 times a week. And I thought, you know what, I don't want that for myself anymore. Like, I love a good wine. I was an alcoholic for a long time. I mean, in Australia, it's sad, but it's kind of the expected thing that's what you do, you drink. And if you don't drink, there's something wrong with you and you can't be trusted and all of these jokes. Like, we love a drink. And so, the last 10 years has been so defining for me. And I think when you hit that age, you go through that. But it's also, 26, 27 as well. You go through this phase of like, do you want to get married, want to settle down, blah, 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 or do you want to get out and live your life? Do you want to keep living? What do you want to do? And so when you have these life-defining moments, and they're rock bottom moments, they're the ones that change you. They're the ones that make you seek out the things that you need to create the things that you want and get the things you want. Because, we're desperate. We're always, like, when we're in that state of mind, we're always looking for that quick fix or that, that bullet, magic bullet, to fix our problem. And, I think it's great, but I also think that your development and your attitude to life and the way you feel is an ongoing, lifelong quest. Like, it's not just do a course and then expect it to all be okay. Like, and you might fix that immediate problem, but there's always other things that come up. And it's not to be like a negative Nancy or anything like that. It's just shit does come up. Like, even with what I do, stuff comes up, it triggers me, I react. It's called being human, and I will continue to do that until the day I die. Maybe even in the afterlife, who knows? But that's the thing, you don't just do something and then hope that it'll fix you, okay? And you don't keep looking for a quick fix. Quick fixes don't work. What works is daily practice. Like, what works is every single day deciding who you want to be, deciding that you're going to go for what you want and actually make it happen instead of sitting there hoping that it might happen or wishing that it had happened to you. You happen to things. They don't happen to you. It's as simple as that. And so the way you think will impact massively all of that. Like, the way you think affects everything in your life. It affects your entire environment. And so as I train myself more and more, and as I said, it's constant training. It's not like because I teach what I teach that I suddenly I can stop now and give up. Not at all. Like, it's not like that. I mean, even some of the biggest mentors / inspirations of our time, they never gave up. They kept going because life chucks shit at you and tests you out. And, if you don't take it on the chin and go, okay, all right, yeah, this is a problem, I need to fix this. If you don't do that and then fix it, then you're just going to keep getting it because the universe is slapping you upside the fucking head saying, hey, hey, hey. So for as long as you keep doing these stupid things to yourself and copying the consequences of them, the universe, it's just going to keep slapping you upside the head with the same results that you don't want because you haven't figured out that you need to change it. So that's it. This was a long one today. No monkeys, unfortunately, but that's okay. Maybe tomorrow I will manifest them for you. So, Daily Adventure Fest. I've got a Facebook community and I've got a heap of people in there, and what we do is talk about getting your ass out here. Not necessarily to Costa Rica, although I do recommend it, but out doing the things that you want to do in your life, whether it's start a business, feel more confident in yourself, be more assertive, have better relationships with people, travel, whatever the hell you want to do. I will help you do that. I give you the motivation and the tools and the mindset to help you get started, go through the process, and get the result at the end. And then rinse and repeat. So to get into that group, into the community, it's www.dailyadventurefestgroup.rocks. That's www.dailyadventurefestgroup.rocks. And until then, I want you to get out here and play because the world is waiting.